I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Mike, we'll take you first. You're up.
You got it.
This is your final report for the season.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Been done for a couple weeks now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just here, I guess, to propose what we need for next year,
Okay.
which really isn't much. Purple flag. We need a purple flag.
You want to email me a list?
Yeah, I can email you a list. Yeah, I have. Yep, I can do that.
Okay, that would be the best for.
Or do you want me to list them off? It's really not much. It's like
Yeah.
5 items. You want me to list them off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll email you 2 after this, but 2 rescue reels, purple flag, 4 straps for the backboard, the plastic clips, whiteboard, and then when I'm thinking about
Email.
yeah, absolutely, thank you.
Okay.
And then the last item, which I think we do need, is a gator. I know we were supposed to get a gator.
Yeah, that was a mix-up or screw-up on my part where we thought we had money appropriated.
Mm-hmm.
We did appropriate it, but after 1 year, it got reabsorbed back
Mm-hmm.
into our enterprise fund. So that would be something that we would be putting on town meeting for next year
Okay.
to do that. Because what we're planning on doing is getting a gator and a storage
Yeah.
bin down there so you can put all the stuff in the
Exactly.
bin,
That'd be perfect.
You know, so that would make your life easier than.
And then also too, a York seaweed rake would go with the gator, which would be. I mean, I don't know. Again, with the Mass Audubon, I know.
You can't rake the seaweed.
I know,
I know
but-
as much as you want to, you can't rake the seaweed.
So I mean, because it would be really feasible. It's not expensive, and the thing is too. I know they wanted to do, like I said last meeting, some trainings or whatever. I'll do the whatever you guys want me to do to be able. But yeah, I don't know what path you guys want to go down, but
Okay.
and that's it.
Do you have a count about who may or may not be coming back?
I do
next year?
actually. That I do as well. So all together, nine of us should be coming back, and 2 of us, actually 3 of us, are not. Do you want me to list off names?
No, you don't.
Yeah,
have to.
so I would
You
say-
can provide that. You know, the best thing to do is provide that to
On the
Jim.
email, yeah, on the gym. Okay,
Yeah,
yep,
give it to Jim for next year.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
absolutely.
So because coming early next year, we want to get all our ducks in a row.
Yeah, 9 of us should be coming back all
Okay.
together. So which is a good group. So
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So yeah,
I mean, there's 9 out of. What do you think the number you should have? I guess.
probably around, because we never really had, like, there was always stuff going on with our lifeguards. I mean, like, some of them didn't really last the whole year or whatever it was. So I'm thinking around 12 to 13, which is what we tried to start it off with this year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're gonna have people leave early because they have to.
Exactly, for
starts
school and stuff,
early.
yeah.
You know, you want to make sure you get to Labor Day weekend.
exactly, which this year was kind of a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, with the trying to guard the beach because we didn't have a lot of guards. But I'm thinking around 12 to 13. That's what I'm thinking is a good number, which is what we started off with this year. But some people started dropping like flies. So
Yeah. That's what happened the year before. I
Yeah.
mean, you had not great weather this year too. So
Yeah.
Kind of lucky. In some
exactly, yeah, no, we were pretty lucky with the weather aspect. So I guess not so much for the beachgoers, but yeah. So.
aspects. Okay. Anything else? No, since last time we saw you.
Yeah, so-
no incidents.
Yeah, it was only like a week and a half left, so no incidents occurred during Labor Day or anything like that. So it ended up being smooth for the rest of the year. And I submitted the revised manual. So I'm sure you got a copy, and I know Paula got a copy. So which
She's the
really
important one.
and that's about it.
Okay. Excellent. Well, everybody's complimentary that I spoke to about the guards and everything like that.
Yeah.
Except for the Audubon and the seaweed.
Yeah. You're gonna
I
get
kind of
some.
warned you about that.
Yeah, you're gonna get some complaints along the way.
Yeah,
so.
it's just one of those things, and people complain about the seaweed. There was a lot of seaweed this year,
There was
more
a-
than there usually
There's
is.
an absurd
But
amount.
unfortunately,
A lot of
the
moon tides and stuff.
the same thing with the sand and the path and everything. The Audubon doesn't let us do it.
Yeah.
That's-
You can't even rake it.
no, you can't do anything, and people have to be understanding of that. A lot of people understand when you tell them. A lot of people, just act with the birds,
Yeah.
But it just is what it is. So
Mhm.
there's not much we can do about it. So. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your job this year.
Yeah, thank you.
We
No
look
problem.
forward to seeing you back next year.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Very eager. Do you guys have any other questions?
Well, yeah, I do have one question.
Yes.
Now the certification for lifeguards.
Yes.
What's the process these days?
Well, there's a couple processes you can go through. So the first process is, I know this year we had a couple uncertified lifeguards. So they went through Chris Broyle in Horseneck. He certified them, or them, I should say, or recertified them. And basically, you have to go through a test. There's a written portion and a physical portion, obviously. But you can go pretty much to any local YMCA. You could do it at Horseneck with Chris Boyle, and that's pretty much what I know of, which is pretty.
Well, you need certification every year, correct?
No, every 2 years.
Okay, so that's be something that maybe we need to remind people early on next year.
Yes,
I don't know
absolutely.
who's expiring or
And
not.
what's the, now how does it get paid for? Who pays for it?
Well-
What's the cost? What is the cost?
The cost is usually between $300 to $350 from what I've seen. That's like the average going rate.
Yeah.
So that's.
Doesn't Jimmy Farrell, though, come over and do that? Wouldn't he? Jimmy, he's the president of the Rhode Island Lifeguard.
I think yes. I think okay. Yeah, he would do. He. Yeah, I think
He's
he
a
had.
former Westporter.
Now,
Yes.
do
They do it as a
individuals-
group. Nope, it's by group. So meaning they usually have a class and they get like 5 students or whatever, and they take the course.
But do they pay, do the people taking the course pay
Yes.
for it? Because I had, I don't know whether this is true, but I had heard that Horseneck say will pay for the lifeguards to
Exactly.
take the test.
Yes.
We reimburse
And
this
then
year.
they
Yeah,
commit,
yep.
and then they commit to work there.
Yes.
Yeah, we reimburse.
Yeah. Which same
They
thing.
say here.
Yeah. That
Oh, okay.
We
So
reimburse
you do that.
300,
Yeah.
as long as they put 40 hours in.
Yeah.
I believe
It was
We-
200 hours, I think.
Yeah,
it
we,
was.
we
200,
make sure
yes,
they
yeah.
stay here.
Well,
They
like
don't
40
take
hours,
the
yeah.
certification.
Yeah.
I just
200
wanted
hours.
to-
Yes. For
I was
yeah.
thinking 40 hours a week, like,
I mean,
Yeah, which makes
what I-
sense.
but
What I'm sort of trying to get, what I suggested last spring,
Yeah.
when we found that there was gonna be a problem,
Mhm.
we thought there was.
Yeah.
That the recreation department in Westport and the school department really take an active role in trying to get high school students,
Yes.
for example,
Hmm.
to take the course and to make sure that they know that they will be reimbursed and that they will have a job for the summer.
Yeah. Yes.
And just start working through the school or the rec department or
Mhm.
both. And,
That's a big factor with hiring lifeguards. I know that. That's a
well,
big.
that was a big factor.
Exact. Yeah, for the paid course. So some, like, I know the YMCA, you have to work a certain amount of hours to get, and then they'll reimburse you for your courses. Some beaches, they don't reimburse you, but now what I've seen from beaches around here, they're starting to reimburse their guards to entice them to work, so, to get more guards. And
Yeah, well, if you have any suggestions for us to, or whoever will be in charge of hiring next time.
Yeah.
my only suggestion is probably the maybe the reimbursement is good, obviously, for the certification, but also too that maybe some a little incentive for staying till the end of the year as well, because a lot of guards did not stay till the end of the year this
I mean,
year.
they said some of them just can't do it only because
They're going to.
you have to go to school, you have to go to
Yes.
school,
yeah,
I think-
that wasn't the issue. though.
No, that was
That
not.
wasn't all, I'm sure.
It was not. That was not the issue. So I think maybe doing it, and because I know, if I'm not mistaken, Horseneck, they did an incentive if you stood till Labor Day weekend or something like that.
Yeah, you get an extra $600, I think.
Which I'm not saying that much, but just that way you can get guards posted until that weekend and not have any problems there.
Well, we're gonna have some discussion
Okay,
tonight, a
well,
little
we're
financial
gonna-
discussion tonight.
Yeah.
so.
Talking about it at some point.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but that's the only thing I would recommend.
Okay.
Can
Okay.
you copy me on that list for the supplies?
Absolutely.
Because I want to get in touch with them. The rescue reels, for some reason, nobody had them last year. They couldn't even put them on back order, that place that we
Oh,
worked
no,
through
over
in
there, yeah, when
Middletown.
they were at
So
work,
I
yeah.
figured if you get word in somewhere that
Well,
hopefully
you
they come back
probably
order.
get it in off-season, you might get lucky and get a couple
Right.
of stray.
So that's why I think,
We have money in that
In that
equipment
line
stuff,
item.
yeah, in that one. So, okay, yeah, maybe that's a good idea, because they may, not a high demand, we probably got a little late to the table.
yeah,
and
and
all
they
that
couldn't
stuff.
get, but he said it wasn't just him, like there were a lot of communities that he just couldn't get them for.
Which I believe that, yeah, it was
It's weird.
it was an
It's
unusual
weird.
year this year with just the guards and stuff and supplies. I don't know why.
It's been
but
that way since COVID.
I believe that. That
That
makes
company was
sense.
very nice to deal with, though.
Yeah, it was. They shipped pretty timely, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
When Sean picked up the first time, but then
Yeah.
they shipped too.
yeah,
It's right, it's not far from where I work, so.
that's good.
Okay.
No
All
other
right.
questions?
No, I think that's it. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Have a great night.
you too.
Bye, Mike.
We look forward to seeing you next year.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions over the winter, feel free. We're here third Thursday every month.
100%.
So, okay,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, we have somebody in the audience here who I don't think is on the agenda, but we'll take them as an unanticipated thing, and I'm sure they have an issue, so come right up and,
You want me to sit down?
yeah, sure,
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
Tina.
absolutely.
And, so I usually go down to Beach Avenue,
Okay.
and
Your name, please?
Tina,
Tina, last name?
Benavides.
Okay, you go to Beach Avenue, go ahead.
And, unfortunately, you can't go down there alone anymore, it's very unsafe. I'm not sure if you receive all the calls from the police. So 2 weeks ago, we had friends come with us, and it was very scary because the people behind us ended up calling the police, and it's wasting a lot of money because it ended up being 3 cruisers down there.
Okay, in what way is it not safe? Other people who were there, or?
Yes, people who come from wherever, and this person brought a pit bull that had, that was running loose.
Okay,
So there was girls behind me, and I know that they had called. And there was, it's really, if you wanna go to the beach, I don't really wanna go to the beach and see police there. I mean, I don't really think that you do.
well, sometimes you do want to see
So-
police there, but I understand what you're saying, yeah.
So and not only that, also, like several years ago, like this is the first time that it's just piling up. So where the handicap is, anybody will park in the handicap. Yes, they do ticket. That does not deter anybody at all. They should tow them out, because there was a gentleman there that said that he couldn't park. He had the handicap and the beach pass, and he can't park there. And not only that, I had gone down there and the handicap is all blocked. So if the handicap is here, there's literally cars with no tags,
Right.
no handicap, and they're all parked here. So you can't go there.
What day and time do you typically go?
Oh, this is all times.
All times, all
So
days?
during the day, in the morning, noon, and night. So anywhere from 7 o'clock, and I've gone all the way till 7 at night that this happens.
Okay,
And so it's just a little frustrating because you can't even go there. And the police officer said that people are not reading the signs, which I find odd because
They're
of it-
ignoring the signs,
Because
they're
it
different.
says
well, there are a
here.
lot of signs.
yeah,
Because
they're
There's a
ignoring.
lot of
I
signs.
said-
There are
If
plenty
you
of
can't
signs.
see them,
There are
I
plenty
said,
of
if I park in the handicap, like outside here, and I don't have one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that I didn't see the handicap,
Okay.
and you gave me a ticket? Okay,
they
so,
should raise that. I think it's a $300 fine for.
Right, $300 for handicap
And police
parking.
officers in Westport, they're very great. They're down there constantly. which
Yeah,
is great.
and the problem with where that is, just so you know, is it's at the end of the world, literally the end of the world.
Yeah,
And
no, I'm
and they
saying
need to
you-
be other places more often, so.
No,
to
but they
speak.
do a good job.
Yeah, no,
They do an
absolutely, absolutely,
Excellent job.
yeah.
You can't deny that. But they should raise that to 500.
I don't know, I think we're limited, actually, mass law, I know we're limited on our regular parking tickets for $50 for not having a sticker, which is,
It's supposed to be 300 down there.
but you're wasting their time.
Right.
Like, that's like me calling them today, and I don't need them.
right.
You're like, okay, you just called them, why? So I like to resolve things.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the resolution that I would say is that there be an arm there. So when you drive up, and when you first drive up to Beach Avenue, there's 2 handicaps here. So before you actually turn on to the left, right where the left is, if you have an arm there, and then you have a transponder, and I know that it's a cost issue, so to take care of the cost issue, when you have the beach pass, on the beach pass, it just has to be an extra space that says, if you are going to go to Beach Avenue and have a price increase for only those people, because some people will only go to Cherry and Webb, so there's really no need. So that, let the people who go there, that are willing to pay for that. So they have a transponder, and then the transponder is attached to the plate number. So if the police come and they're not gonna know if I have a transponder or not, they can run my tag and it'll go through and say, oh yes, this tag has paid for their transponder, and that's correct. Because that's gonna stop so many things.
A lot of the problem, believe it or not, a lot of the problems are also because people don't want to park there. Because that's part of, we had a trash park problem earlier, or, well, I should continuously, I guess, through the year. Due to people, there's a lot of drop-offs there, fishermen and everything like that. They drop them off, they park down the parking lot, they unload all their stuff, and then I don't know where they park.
Yeah, well,
But they're parking somewhere.
if somebody leaves them off,
They can't-
But there's really no, but there's really no
No
parking.
cars.
Right.
Because like, when I have people that come with me, they come in my car,
Yeah.
and they always ask me to bring their car, and I'm like, you can't. And I'm like, there's no parking. Where Beach Avenue is, there's no parking. If you read all the signs before you get there, there's no parking on the whole street there, there's no parking.
Right.
So I never, ever have anyone come there and bring a car, because there's nowhere to park. And I tell them, like, there's nowhere to park. So that's what I would say. I understand that there might be drop-offs, but that is gonna stop. Because you'll drive down there, and there's literally 20 cars with all tickets on them. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there has to be some kind of resolution, and not only that, I can't even go there unless I'm with someone, because it's very unsafe.
Right.
And and there should be a posted sign that says you need to be a resident and you need to pay where the gate is. So that maybe somebody will read it and say, well, they shouldn't be walking down there. No, they shouldn't.
Well, you go to Cherry Webb at all?
No, you know why? Because the walk is so long.
Yeah, okay. But we have a big flashing highway sign that says, permit required, gates locked, get in,
And people park there.
and people park there.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's only a $50 ticket.
That's the
So all the
maximum you can
students
do.
that come out from out of town, $50 is nothing to them. You're gonna pay $35, $40 to go to the beach no matter where you go around the
Right,
different
right.
states.
Yeah, well,
$50, they laugh at that. They
Well-
think, whatever.
Well,
And
one thing that occurred to me is whether we could designate the entire, far end of Beach Avenue. That's where it narrows down to 30 feet, there's
Right.
no parking, except for the two handicap spots
Well, that's what it is.
at the end. If there
You get
was
three
some,
down there.
if the-
There's three down there.
yeah, well, if there was some way we could designate the entire, 30-foot wide strip as handicap parking, then there would be $300 fine.
That would make a
For
lot
The
of
every-
sign
sense.
is, but there is a sign there that says
I
handicap
know,
parking
but,
beyond
well,
this
but
thing.
is it
Yeah, beyond this
possible,
thing.
but,
Yeah, but they're not tagging them as
But
that.
if they don't-
I
Yeah,
park-
are they tagging them
Yeah, and I have people that bring pictures
$300?
that say I
Are they
wasn't.
giving them $300 tickets for that whole,
But
that's,
I would put
Beyond that
signs,
sign they are.
they
but I
are,
think-
okay, well, that's,
The police officers are great down there.
Well, that's a start.
They do their job 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
And people are saying that they're not, I mean, I deal with it here, so people are saying, but we weren't in the handicap spot, and I was like, no, you weren't in that handicap spot
at
down
the
the
end,
end.
but you're on
I
the
give you that,
handicap
but there is a
stretch.
sign there
Yeah,
that
point
says beyond
Well,
here is
okay.
handicap parking.
yeah, okay.
And they have been, I do have to
Okay,
say
well,
that,
that's-
yeah.
We could probably
Well, I
put, we
get
could
it.
probably put the handicap signs on the guardrail all the way down.
I would definitely
It'd be
do
a lot of
that.
signs.
Yeah, it'd be a lot, but I
Yeah,
mean, at least it'd
I
be
think
low,
if
they're
they were-
not too ugly,
I
but.
I
if there
think
were
that
a few
you
more.
definitely need to do that. I
See,
think
what she
that's-
feels unsafe is, like, the people that are getting dropped off down there, I'm not saying not being prejudiced, but you get a lot of different type of people, and for a woman, for a girl, for her to go down there by
I would
herself, I
never.
don't know where to go,
I
it
would
just,
never.
Really?
Oh, no.
I mean,
Have you seen the people
it
down
just
there?
seems,
Yeah, well, I actually walk out there in the early in the morning, and I went down.
This was a pit bull. Would you like me to bring a loose pit bull in
No,
here
I
tonight?
and I take a trash bag and I police
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Every
definitely
Monday-
gotta,
Every Monday morning, I would take a trash bag because that's trash day at the harbor. And then I'd,
Yeah.
find the nearest one.
Go drop it.
Well, the thing is that Cherry and Webb, like,
And
you
it
have
got better,
lifeguards,
the trash actually got better.
and it's next to Baker's, so you're not gonna have people, bringing dogs. It was very embarrassing because the dog was like going to the bathroom everywhere. It was really a horrible, and this is gonna happen all the time. Until there's a permanent resolution, this is gonna happen constantly,
Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
and it's very unsafe. I think that if you put a bar there, like
You can't put a
Baker's
gate
Beach,
across that road.
when you turn the corner,
It's a
Well,
public,
if you go back 20 years.
yeah, there was one
it's grandfathered
there-
in.
No, there was a huge, well,
to do.
to do,
Yeah.
to put it mildly,
Yeah.
about opening that road. For a long time, for years, it was actually blocked off with
Yeah.
boulders. And nobody could go. Then they did put a chain, or I think they
There was a
tried-
gate, there was a
They
gate.
tried a gate,
They had a gate.
They did have
and
a
there was a
gate.
chain.
and, and there were always people who said, well, we gotta keep it open because it's a public road.
And there's private property who people have the right to access their property on a
So,
publicly laid
so
out
this
road.
has been, this problem goes way back.
Well, I have
100 years.
another question. Okay, so before you
There's a
go,
history here.
Yeah.
when you drive down the road, so
Mm-hmm.
before you get to Beach Avenue on the left side, there's tucked in I guess are all rental properties on the water there, and there's been a cop stationed right there,
It's a
You know,
little
without-
cottages.
where that little inn is. As soon as you pass, like,
Okay, you
It's
go
like
past the
right there?
hotel, yeah.
yeah, so there,
Boathouse Row. So it's-
Yeah.
Oh, Boathouse Road,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's been a-
That's a different
private
thing, that's a
security.
private road.
so there's been a police officer
Yeah,
that's been
on
there.
weekends.
Yeah, they get hired by the residents there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So, well,
that is a private road.
so I guess there's no resolution. We're gonna just let them do it.
No, we'll try to do something, and
I
realistically.
think one thing is the handicap, so that people know that all that is handicap on both sides.
Well, we can do that, that's pretty simple, that's just making signs and screwing them into the guardrail there
Bigger
along the way.
sign. Yeah.
I mean, the sign, I go down there occasionally, maybe once a week. And I know what's going on down there, and I've talked to people.
It's not very nice.
Especially on Sunday, like late Sunday morning, like my favorite time to go there. People, I'm walking down the road with my dogs, and people will come down there. I've seen them get out of the car, and I'll say something to them, and the ultimate question is, well, who are you? So, I get that question all the time, and I always give them a really snappy answer. But there is a problem down there, and we recognize it. One of the problems is, that we have is the drop-offs. The second thing is, and we have this at Cherry and Webb too, although it's not as
Well, yeah, you have the
prevalent as it is at
lifeguards
Beach
there,
Avenue,
yeah.
because Beach Avenue is more
Yeah.
remote.
And then you have Baker's
Yeah.
Beach, so they're not gonna really they're not gonna deal with that. So they know that they're not gonna really get too many drop-offs there because Baker's is just gonna not have it.
Yeah, we mean Bakers.
So where Cherry and Webb is, Baker's
Yeah,
Beach
right,
is like
right.
right here, so,
Well, you'd be surprised the number of people who get dropped off at Cherry and Webb, and people go park at Horseneck, and when the driver goes down, park at Horseneck and walks down.
I don't
They
understand.
drop the whole family off at the gate,
yeah.
and then they,
This is like all madness to me, because I have gone to the beach my entire life. And my family, like we would either pay to go to the beach, or we actually had little cottages, like that row or wherever. So this is like madness to me. I never heard
Yeah,
of getting
you-
dropped off at
It's
beaches.
just a clientele that's getting dropped off, like nobody's really doing it, just certain people, don't bother me, but for a woman.
No,
I
no.
look around like,
oh yeah, nobody, I'm walking around with multiple dogs on leash, and nobody's coming up to me to say anything stupid, believe me. But I understand your concern, and I
It's
know
just very
a lot of
madness.
women on Cherry and Webb, it's the same.
It's madness.
Same.
I would not go to the beach unless I had my beach pass. Period, end of story.
But the answer we get, and I've approached people, is, how much is the fine? $50? Ah,
Yeah.
okay, what the heck, we'll stay
I
here
thought it
anyway.
was 300 on that road.
For
It's
handicap.
only $50 in the
That's
first
spot
2/3
on,
section,
yeah.
or whatever you wanna call it. Yeah, because that's the maximum fine allowed under state law for parking fine. Believe it or not.
Unless you're down a little bit more. than-
Unless you're down in the handicap spot, then you can go to 300, but you can only do 50. And you can't go, a family of 4 can go to the movies for $50.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go to the beach too. for the same price. And, I mean, they'll pull up in front, I've seen cops go up to them and say, you can't park here, how much is fine, $50? I'll go. You know, there's
I
no
couldn't
vaccines for
imagine.
stupid, as I keep saying, you know, and
Well,
there should be.
Well, I'm on the list for
So-
Baker, so I'm gonna keep praying that I get on that list. I'm on the list for Peabody Beach because it's not right that I used to go there and have coffee in the
I
morning.
agree
I
with
would
you.
never do that.
I agree with you, and you're not the only
One
person.
day my friend and I
that-
were there, there literally were, the handicap is, that were literally like 7 cars parked there. And this is not even exact, and the 2 weeks ago, the cops were all there as a witness.
Yeah.
It was even worse than what I'm talking about.
Somebody ripped up the that blue thing at the
Yeah, they
end,
ripped that
the
up.
rail for
They-
lockers,
yeah, they ripped that
little
up.
walkway.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would somebody
They
rip this
vandalized
up
the
out of
rock.
ground?
Yeah.
Because,
Why?
because they can.
Because they,
Oh, no, believe me, and I get a lot
it
of
was
grief.
done at night, most likely, of course, so.
I get a lot of grief because the way I treat people who do those kind of things when I see them do it, and don't get involved, don't do this and everything like that. But I agree with you 100. I agree with you 100%.
We're in
And I
a
think
very
one of the
sad
things to
world.
do is, get Brayton's ramp truck down there for in the summer, and just have them park there, and it's like,
Town's gonna make money.
I let Brayton make all the money. I don't care if they tow them. I don't care if they can do them.
Yeah, but why are they not, they should really do that when they're in the handicap, they should tow them.
Yeah.
No, they should
I
have-
agree with you
You know what they should
100%.
have down there too is a couple of signs, a little more signs about the trash and make it, enforce it. If you
A
pick
$50
up
fine.
littering,
Yeah.
Make them.
Yeah, the land trust was very cooperative this year in sending someone down on a regular basis, because most of that, 90% of that property is land trust property, believe it or not.
Oh,
The town only owns a 100-foot
Yeah, it
strip.
is, the guy, he told me, because it's mostly federal, yeah, because,
Yeah.
Well, it's mostly
Yeah.
land trust.
It's mostly land trust. Pretty much everything,
The
the
far
whole
end is
last
federal.
end of it is
But
land
the
trust.
But
1,000 feet
the
is
people
land
that
trust.
have their beach pass are not putting litter there.
No, it's the same thing, it's the same thing at each of the town beaches. The people with passes are not the problem. Because they have, and no pun intended, a dog in the fight, so to speak. They have a interest in keeping that beach clean so they can go there.
Yeah.
It's the people who are going there for the weekend they're down, or whatever the case may be, or they're going fishing for that day, or
Well,
whatever the case may
Yeah,
be.
somebody, I have no idea who, put a trash barrel down in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
not
was
right.
one, but it's not there anymore.
Well, and,
That's
and
bad.
it became
That's
a
worse.
magnet
Yeah,
for
it
trash.
was worse.
It
We
was-
stopped
it was
doing it at the beach
absolute-
because
it was absolutely
it's
gross.
worse.
And that trash barrel disappeared.
Yeah.
It's really sad because when I was brought up, I went to every beach for 8-10 hours with my parents. We brought our trash home.
Yeah, oh yeah,
That's
well,
what
It-
we
It's very good, I have to say, at Cherry and Webb Beach, it's excellent. People have learned, because we took the trash barrels away, because you leave trash barrels there, lifeguards leave at 5.
everybody.
Most people leave after 5, and that thing would be piled up with beach chairs and and then all night long, the seagulls,
That's
the
so
raccoons
sad.
and everything else had that thing all over the beach.
So,
So we stopped doing that,
we
and it's
don't
been
do- we don't do
100
trash
times better.
barrels.
I think it works better, like you said, because people figure, I got trash, I'll bring a little Shaw's bag, or stop, take it back with you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you always have that, you have people to bury the diapers,
We
do all
saw
that.
somebody, buried, there was stuff buried.
Oh, great.
That's like, do you do that at home?
Yeah, of course not.
I mean,
We are in 100% agreement, and Paula, I'm sure Paula is too, she has the same kind of feelings I have, that they should tow everybody and get them out of there, and, fine them or whatever. I, for all intents, tow them up the Thats and put them in the car crusher, and that'll teach them once.
you know, when you turn on there, maybe this is another deterrent, when you turn on there and on the right side, I'm not sure can you park on the right side with
No.
the beach pass?
No.
So maybe, is there a way to put handicap there?
No, the reason they don't want there is because if they have to get an emergency
you gotta
vehicle
keep
there,
pushing.
Yeah, you gotta
it would be a
parking
disaster.
outside.
You have to.
Yeah, it'd be a disaster if you tried. And you need to turn around too. So if you're parked in where you're supposed to park, you have to turn around to get out of there. If there were cars on both sides, you'd be
Is
there
there
all
a
day.
sign, does it say no parking there though?
Oh,
There used to
all
be.
kinds.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
there should be more, check
Yeah.
and see, and then I would put more signs there that say no parking, no parking, no parking.
'Cause that's all private property. Everything, I'd say the first 2/3 on that side even, is private property. And there's signs there that say that, I think. I don't know if they're still there.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
because
they
when
say
you turn in,
private,
there's
but
a
there are
little
couple
spot
of-
that you can park.
I mean, there are a couple, there might be one or two private gates that say private.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gate does,
Yeah.
but there's a little piece of parking there because if you park at the handicap at the very beginning, people
Yeah,
can
there are
park right at the very beginning.
Yeah, there's
You
two
can park
spots.
Well, they're actually,
Oh, you can?
on,
If 20
On the
cars
street.
can fit.
yeah, on the
I
street.
think 23 is what.
Before you
Is
take
it?
the
Yeah.
left, I think,
You can't park there.
I think there is town permit parking on the left side,
Oh, is
Yeah.
that
I
it?
believe.
Yeah, the first two spots, I think.
Yeah,
right?
there's a couple of spaces, that's called Ocoxet Street. And before you turn the corner and it becomes Beach Avenue, I believe there were spaces on that street before the corner for
You mean the
town.
house,
There used to
the
be.
house with the basketball court?
Well,
that's on
across
the
the-
Well, no,
the
that's,
other side
no,
of the
no,
street.
that, no, no,
Yeah,
the other
Yeah,
side.
it's the other side of the street, same street.
Yeah, right across from that house with the
Yeah,
basketball.
I believe
Yeah, there's
that
two
Did you ever
spots
see-
there.
Oh, there is?
Do you ever
For
see
town passes?
feedback from the
Yeah,
police?
yes, it was the same.
We do.
as The other space.
And we try to coordinate them, and they do the best job, obviously, they do the
Do they
best
have
job.
any other resolutions?
We want, I shouldn't say we, I would like to, I won't speak for the other members here, a tow truck to be there to get rid of the cars.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
You have to do-
$50 doesn't deter anybody
No.
anymore.
And Braden's is right there. Braden's is right down the road.
I know,
It's
but
right
you,
there.
you know, you have to hire them, you can't call them up and say, hey, come down and get it, come down and get it, because that's something, you know, you have to contract.
But don't they, so they don't get paid, like, for example. if
Oh,
you
no, they
tow
get
my
paid,
car-
but if you want them on, they're also doing calls all over everywhere, you see Braden's trucks
So
everywhere,
if you had them, like, on a Saturday and Sunday, you'd have to hire them.
Yeah, we probably would have to have somebody sit, if you had somebody sitting there, like during the weekends in the summer, there's usually a cop sitting at Cherry Web Beach, and
Yeah.
everything is real great.
Oh,
because
yeah,
they get,
sometimes there is.
yeah, the cop's sitting right outside the parking
Yeah,
lot in
because
the
we
car.
drive by, like, if we go to the back alley, or we'll, pop over there, but we don't usually stay.
Yeah,
But-
one of the police officers, the park, the right across where it says Town Beach, right near the boat, trip
Right.
boat, that little area.
Yeah,
The police officer, he's a real nice guy, he said, I come up here, it's a $50 fine, he says, all these people don't care.
they don't,
park in there, I said, well, can you do something?
we can bring it up,
Can you raise it? He goes,
one of the
"We
reasons
can't."
we're having a meeting tonight, and then two members aren't here unfortunately, was we have to go in front of the selectmen, because, we need to, any new policies, fee increases, et cetera, have to be put in place within the next month, because beach passes, we don't work fiscal year, July to July, we work calendar year, January, so we have to have all these in place for the town clerk on January 1st, so there's no confusion.
I
you
think
know.
a nice hefty $300 fine, mandatory, I think that would
Yeah,
get
but they
a lot
can't
of
do
people.
that.
Yeah, well, I
this
think
time.
I agree that we should try to get that established on the entire,
Yeah, the
Oh,
handicap.
really?
on the
Yeah,
end, the end of the road where there is
What is the
no park.
cost for a tow truck there on one day?
That's a good question, I don't know.
You'd have
You
to
know.
pay them for like the 8 hours. You'd
Yeah,
have
you have to,
pay them
yeah, so I don't
hourly
know, I
rate.
don't know what they would charge, but you have to pay them for 8 hours, it's,
Yeah, too much money, it's.
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
willing to
it's a
pay-
deterrent, yeah,
To pay more for my beach pass, because $35, I personally
Well,
would
we-
not have any problem at all.
I would almost guarantee that's going up next year. Because we had some lifeguard issues and we have to raise it just for that. But I understand where you're coming from with that. And I don't know if, I probably have to speak to police chief. Is Keith retiring in January?
Well, because, I'm not sure when, but he's still around.
Yeah. So I think we have a conversation as how we would have to work this, to do that. One of the problems is if you damage your vehicle, is the town liable for the damage or who, and then the question from, you know, even if you had 10 cars on there, one tow truck, by the time you picked up one car and went down there and then went back down
Yeah,
the way.
it's not feasible.
You know, it's not in a very efficient way unless, you know, there's a better way of doing it. You know, the other way of doing it would almost probably be cheaper, probably have a cop sitting there, you know, checking people at the entrance as they go down, and, you know, if you stop them before they get there, then
Well, that's a resolution, that, and then the other resolution is if you did like the tow trucks and did it once a month, so people got, because obviously people are going on, because I wouldn't even know that was down there.
You wouldn't
Because
even,
when I lived in Westport, I lived on the beach. So I literally, where the dunes are, we had houses there.
Yeah.
So we literally were right there. We never went to the, you know, didn't have to go through all this. So the thing is that they're telling people to go down there. So I think that if there's more handicap parking in the $300, and then if there's a cop there once a month and they see that, or a tow truck once a month, they'll pass it on and say,
Yeah, it's only
Wow.
gonna take 1 or 2 cars to be towed.
they're gonna say,
Yeah.
wow, it's getting really locked up here, maybe this is
Because
not a wise idea.
I'm the guy that goes down and locks up the gate every night down in Cherry and Webb.
You know what would be a
And all
good
it takes is a couple, at the beginning of the season, you lock a couple of them in, and that doesn't happen the rest of the season.
You know what's a
Yeah,
good
same.
idea, maybe, if it's possible, you know how you have the lifeguards and stuff, if you had someone down there right at the beginning, only on the weekend, you know, during the weekday, you get to have somebody there, but a weekend type thing, was somebody would just check. You have
One of the problems is the
Like
police
the
don't.
gates.
If you don't, then you can't come down here.
We talked, we toyed with that last year, like a gate attendant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we took,
Yeah,
yeah, we took.
we
The
did.
problem is the police
Oh.
don't, because in this day and age, you know, the police don't want to put the general public at risk. You know, you put a 19-year-old lifeguard down at the end of
Yeah,
the
no,
gate.
you don't wanna do that.
You know,
That-
you know.
that-
In this day and age,
No. that
anything
you
can
can't.
happen. You know.
Nowadays, that you cannot, with the
Yeah.
pit bull, look at the pit bull was there.
Yeah.
That was just a nice.
You don't want
thing.
your 19-year-old son, or I wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
want my 19-year-old son, I would not, I'd say, you're not
At
going.
some of at the club,
No.
at the Spindle Rock Club, they have a parking attendant.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
On weekends.
Yeah.
But we instruct the parking attendant, you know, never confront
No,
anyone,
Yeah, because it's
whether it's a member or
No.
not.
yeah.
No.
No
you know,
arguing,
Just be
yeah.
there, be there.
Yeah.
And, you know, if somebody comes in without the pass, he can, you know, he can go up and say, you may go up to the office and pick up your pass.
Yeah,
If you don't
right.
have one. That's all it's
yeah,
supposed to
because
do.
nowadays you can't do, yeah, you
I'm
really
sorry
can't,
you
yeah.
didn't pick up your pass. They
Yeah.
just, but they
Yeah.
never
Right.
Yeah.
confront.
Because we used to have people who were deputized that wrote tickets to help the police out, and that got stopped real quick for obvious reasons. Because if you're putting a ticket on somebody's car and they're coming up to,
Yeah.
there's
Who
going
are
to
you?
be there's going to be a confrontation.
Yeah.
You know, I get that question all the time when I'm locking the gate. And who the heck are you? And I'm the guy that's locking the gate. See you later. You know.
Like that parking wars on TV, you know?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm the guy that's locking you in. That's who I am. And then they, you know, then they know you're serious. But at some point, it's gotten, believe me, I've been doing this for 17 years. And 15 years ago wasn't the problem, 12 years wasn't ago. It seemed as the pandemic hit, the attitude of people and their
Yeah.
entitlement attitude, I guess is what I want to say, has skyrocketed out of bounds. And it's hard. It's probably never going to get reined in. I mean, we'll try to. I definitely will bring it up to the selectmen. I hear everything you're saying. You know.
I'm on a committee of the land trust, and I can ask, you know, I can see if they have any ideas.
That would be
I
great.
think a hefty fine would straighten out quite a bit.
Because one of the issues is that the land trust cannot, and they have to keep the property open to the public.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's.
And there's
well, that's their-
three private owners
tax-
who
because they're
made a
tax
point to
exempt.
keep that beach
So
avenue open.
that, but if there
It was
is
a nice beach, you should see
anything
it.
they can do, I'll try to find
That'd
out.
be great, yeah,
You know,
that'd be great.
I don't know if it can resolve all the issues. I don't think, no matter
Just
where
a
you
little
go.
bit, something. It's really sad that we're in a world where they have to have a cop or hire their own cop to have a beach house. I mean, it's ridiculous. Does that sound ridiculous? That is the most
It's, you know,
ridiculous thing.
well, as everybody says, the water is an attractive nuisance. And people always want to get to the water. So if they can figure out, you know, they've got a secret way of getting to the water. It doesn't matter if it's not just there. It's everywhere in town. It's every way that's to the water. It's Brayton Point Road, it's Drift Road, it's, you know, Cherry and Webb, it's and I don't know what's going to happen in the near future as things get wetter or worse or whatever happens, because it's more and more people obviously want to be at the beach. Beach Avenue, they look at as being remote, so they say anything that's going to
Yeah.
happen here is going to take
Well,
forever
and
to get
in
here.
fact, I don't, you know, I don't always go there on a Sunday or Saturday, but I've never seen more than half of the spaces
Yeah, neither have I.
taken by people with permits.
Right,
But I know
So
that
there's
when I
plenty,
go,
if anybody had a problem getting into Cherry and Webb, Beach Avenue is not that crowded.
yeah.
Because-
It's just so far to walk, because we bring, we went there one night. It's so far. Because we bring chairs and food and, you know, everything, and it's a
I
lot.
walk it every night.
It's
And so, and I know it's a long way, and it's not just not a long way, it's
And
not
then
an
if
easy
you-
walk
and
either,
if you bring
so
company, you know, it's like,
I
it's a
don't,
lot.
I don't disagree, but I know, cause I'll be going there after this meeting to
You
close
know what
the
would make
gates.
it easier, if they had that stretch with the blue runners. There's really no blue, you know what I mean? I
Oh,
don't-
yeah, Cherry and Webb, there's no runner there.
Cherry and Webb.
You can't,
Actually, the
When you say-
Cherry and Webb
I mean,
path,
it's
if
easy to
you
walk
go
that.
down,
It's like
if
walking down the
if they,
street, so it's nice.
you talking the Moby mats?
Yeah.
but
You know how much those are?
But the
10 grand.
path
What's that?
10
under
grand,
the, going,
So
the
many
path
feet?
to Cherry and Webb Lane
30 feet.
is
30
actually
feet.
underneath the sand that blows on it, is
How do you figure
is
that?
a hard surface.
That's what they pay
Yeah.
for.
And it's, so
That's
that
what they
the
get
issue
charged
is, related to the birds and the Audubon, how often can you sweep the sand off? The path.
Well, I like to go to
Because
Beach
there
Run.
is a hard path.
Yeah.
under it.
Oh, no, and it's hard, it's not an easy walk, I agree.
Well,
No.
Beach Avenue, I park here and I'm here, so, you know,
Well, that's like people like East Beach, as much as it's not a really great beach, you can pull right up off the road, get out of your car, and the water's right there. You're not going, unfortunately, it's dangerous to walk down to the water on the cobble, but it's just, not much you can do about that particular thing. Cherry and Webb Beach, there isn't much we can do. You can spend, years ago, when a different form of this committee existed, we looked into boardwalks and all kinds of other things, alongside the road and coastal zone management and all the bird people like, no. But of course, they did it at Horseneck, and it
you
wasn't
have
a
to go through a
problem.
lot of red tape. Well, you know why, they may have lines and pockets.
So you couldn't do a boardwalk from the parking lot, just over that, pressing up that little bit of the dirt. When you start to get over the hill, then it kind of gets more sandy, and that's fine, you could stop
The
right
people who
there.
live in the houses leading up to the beach,
Yeah.
all have applied for walkways to get up, they
Oh.
own all, and
Yeah.
denied.
Yeah, those, some houses, like we have been to that house, the one by the dunes there. I think it's for sale now. The one that says that is for sale, it's set way back. That house has been there for so long, they're not gonna let those people put boardwalks over there.
No, see,
They're not
and
gonna let those people
So-
do that.
the whole point is,
Cause then you'd have the whole area with those houses, you'd have all the boardwalks. They'd be like, what?
yeah,
They're
so,
like, this is no longer a beach.
well, one person put boardwalks in and they're in violation, and then in front of the Conservation Commission, and the state has cited them for violation for doing it. So, it's a problem. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, we'll go to the selectmen, we'll see
If
what we
it
can do.
wasn't that bad that day, I can let things go, but that was like
There's no
very,
reason to let it go.
that was very dangerous. That's like if I brought a pit bull in here tonight and the dog was running around and going to the bathroom everywhere, and I'd be like, well, whatever. And you're like,
I agree with you.
Well,
You'd be like,
there's no such thing as a bad dog.
Yeah, it's a bad
yeah,
one.
but, yeah, but I have a
Also,
Shih
bother
Tzu.
me, I don't care what kind of.
I wouldn't bring my Shih Tzu to the beach
Yeah, no,
and go to the back. I mean, well, you're using the beach. My dog's gonna go to the bathroom on the beach. I mean, hello.
Yeah,
Nobody-
majority of people pick them up, they don't walk, they bring them back.
yeah,
A lot of people.
nobody's a bigger dog person than me, as most people know at this table. And I see what you see all the time at Cherry and Webb. I go to the beach twice a day, every day, regardless of weather. And I see all kinds of things. I see things that I could tell stories, and I might write a book about the things I've seen happening at the beach that just, what do people think about?
There's nothing wrong with dogs on the beach.
No.
No.
I don't find anything wrong with the dogs as long as you're the owner is controlling the dog.
I don't care if you own Lassie,
issue.
you shouldn't let your dog bother anybody else, period.
Well, that guy, that day, the guy was totally drunk.
He was
anyways.
drunk too, yeah.
He was in his jeans, he's trying to fish, he's in the water.
He had his
with
boots
jeans,
on.
Work boots on.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
The girls
Who
behind
decided?
us were afraid, like they were so afraid because
I was talking
there
to
were
him.
3 cops there. I'm sure they probably had a million calls. I didn't have to call because everybody was calling, but thank you for your time.
Well, Ms. Benavides, yeah, we'll see what we can do. I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna be able to completely solve all the problems, but we'll do
No,
what we
if
can.
this is like the handicap, that's at least one resolution.
Well, I worked with
Work on it.
I worked with the disability committee, and they spent a lot of money preparing that handicap parking to make it a legitimate handicap parking, and they don't want to see it. So these are things, there's many people who don't want to see what's happening
You
down
can't
there.
use that spot because people are really blocking it.
Yeah,
They really are blocking it.
When I go down there and I drop everything off right there at that gate and then go
Yeah,
park
then you
back up
park,
and then
yeah.
I walk back down,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Cause that's my beat.
That's being
That's right.
courteous, that's being courteous, but other people will park their car there.
They will.
Yeah,
And this old guy felt so bad, he's like, he didn't have anywhere to park. And the pot, what's weird is that the handicap is empty, but it's all packed. It's like, okay, so why bother have the handicap if we can't use it?
agreed. Well, we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we can solve most of the problems anyway.
I think the best thing is really hefty fines.
They
Well,
can all do so
we're
much.
gonna have to-
I know you're going to do some minus there, I'm just saying, that's one of the best, you can see and talk right with. To make us
You get no argument, you know, you get no argument with me on that, because a $50 fine for years has been nothing.
No. It costs you 35, 40 bucks to go to the beach now. and
Yeah, exactly.
Narragansett,
So,
$50 is,
Yeah,
that's.
to go to that beach is not a problem. So, yes, okay, thank
Hey,
you,
nice
have a good
to meet
night.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good job.
Okay, having gone through that, we'll get right to this. I was hoping everybody was gonna be here tonight. This is the budget printout as of this week. And of course, the concern, there's two concerns here. One is the top one, non-clerical temp, and, you know, item 5108, and then, the overtime thing. And the total personnel services of $57,172, which we only appropriated 50,560. So if you look over, we're 113% of the budget, which surprised me because I thought we'd be more. To tell you the truth, I thought we would be in the 70s and 80s. But we also have to remember that if we open the first 2 weeks in June, we have to count probably another $6,000 to $7,000 on top of this if we want to open before July 1st of next year. So the question is, you're looking at basically an overrun of about $14,000, just ballpark it. As of, we have 4,328 beach passes were sold this year, as of this week. Carla sent that to me. So doing quick math, that's only about basically $3 a beach pass we'd have to make up. But I would recommend that we raise it $5 a beach pass easily, would be my recommendation. That's both the senior citizen and the, regular, I don't know what you call them, regular beach
So
pass. I
40
guess.
for the beach pass and 20 for the senior.
Yeah. Because a majority of the 4,000, I think just a little bit more than 55% were senior passes. So the revenue, when we increased it only on the regular passes last time, the revenue didn't jump up that much just because of that reason. It wasn't like, you know, you get, I think there was a lot of thought that you have like a 20-80 split, and it's more like 55 senior, 45 regular. So, we have to go to the selectmen, and I was hoping to make an appointment. I don't know when the next meeting is, that Monday or the Monday after, or do you know when the next
Monday.
Monday? So maybe the 2 weeks
The
after
10th.
that. So,
Next one's October 10th.
no, it isn't, that's Labor, Columbus Day.
Yeah, that's, Columbus Day's on the 9th, so the meeting's on the 10th.
Oh, okay, all right. So that would probably be the day I'd like to go in, because we have to get these in by the end of December. Any recommendations, policy changes? So I would look forward that, you know, if this is an agreement, we can take a vote, a motion and take a vote tonight on that. I was trying to get in touch with Jim this afternoon just to mention, try to get an idea of what he was thinking.
He's at a conference tonight.
Okay, so if it was,
I can talk to him tomorrow.
if $5 or maybe more. They're gonna get a point of diminishing return where people are gonna stop buying multiple passes per household. You know, and I don't know what that dollar amount is at this point.
Find out.
Yeah, we'll find out quickly as we start going up. But maybe that's part of the solution to a problem, although the parking has not been a huge problem in the last couple of years. That used to be a major problem. It's not so much. So, all in all, I mean, we're gonna have to transfer, we're gonna have to have a line item in the town meeting to transfer out of our enterprise fund to cover some of the personnel and some of the services
Do
here.
you have a number? Do you wanna make a?
We don't have a number yet because I wanna wait till like the November billing to make sure we have all the expenses, so we have an idea of what we need to do. This was just, okay, I wanted to know what the lifeguards were at. Cause I was expecting like a major $70,000 expenditure and it didn't get to that, which is good.
Mhm.
But that may be also because we started late and we didn't open the first 2 weeks in June. And I think we want to open, the last 2 weeks of June. Typically, that's what we did. Or maybe not. Now, the committee decide on that. There are a couple of things we haven't used much money at all. Some of it is the equipment. We have money to, under capital improvements, we have 0% used. Or,
Well, are we keeping those for the fence or?
we have a line item for the fence.
we have
And I think I have Chris volunteering to the highway department to put the fence in if we buy the materials,
Okay,
which will save a bundle of money.
oh, yeah.
I just don't know how well, they're not fence installers. And that might be something we might wanna
Yeah.
make sure, because that needs to be fixed.
I don't know.
Obviously,
Yeah, well,
the representative of the resident was here last meeting saying we
Yeah,
need to fix that.
yeah.
So I think we need to fix it. That would be part of what I go to the selectmen with as a recommendation, that we spend that money, because it was dedicated at a town meeting 3 years ago to spend that money.
Mhm.
So max out what we can do with it and put a new fence up. At least from the part going down, from that pine tree going down, it's really bad. I don't know how anybody feels, but anyhow, getting back to anybody wants to make a motion about a recommendation, I will take that motion.
Is this for the increase in the?
Yeah, the beach,
I
the
think
beach
we
path,
could consider 50 and 25, actually, to hear the truth.
50 and 25? I will entertain, because if you do 50 and 25, you probably have a couple of years, you won't have to raise it again, so you won't get the constant, okay, $5 next year, $5 next year, $5 next year. That trend.
I mean, I know it's a big jump from last year, but lifeguards and all that, it's just gonna keep costing us more
Yeah,
money.
because I look at it as next year, that the state put more incentives and start, rating our lifeguards, because now they're paying $28 an hour at the state. Or, the recommendation would be, not have lifeguards, which I don't think is a good idea, but
All right,
You know.
well, I'll second
50 and 25?
50, 25.
Okay. So moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it was 3-0. So even if Perry and Leon were against it, it would be 3-2, so.
Too bad.
So that'll go to the selectmen. The fence, I think we need to go to the selectmen with the fence about that, because they have to enter. We can buy it, we don't have to enter a contract, so I think that would be simpler. I'm not sure where we buy fence, that's why I want to talk to Jim, but Jim's not, I think, too keen about spending the money on the fence, but it's already appropriated, I don't think it's a problem. It's not like we're gonna go to town meeting and take it out of the school fund or something.
He's here tomorrow.
So, it will come up, next month. I'll get another printout and see where we are. I don't expect anything to be used here other than some of the professional services, because we typically keep the dumpster there until we have a beach cleanup day, which I believe is October 2nd this year.
I
First Saturday.
just wonder if Mid-City might have a collection of fence.
They may. But you want to put a nice fence up or something that's
Well,
heavy gauge.
Sometimes fences get taken out that are.
Usually they're taken out and ruined, no, they're scrapped.
Well,
So-
or they,
But I mean, we can check, but as far as,
we had someone come and haul away hundreds of pounds of sheep fence just to get rid of it.
So, I mean, there's a couple things to go to selectmen with recommendations on that. We'll have, like I said, we will have the dumpster till, I'm pretty sure it's the first Saturday in October, we're doing the beach cleanup, so we usually keep it there. Porta Johns are gone at the end of this month. So that expense will show up in October. We'll be done with that expense. We'll have a better idea budgeting wise, because we'll have to come up with a budget by December. We typically don't meet in December because usually the Thursday's real close to Christmas, so.
They are looking into an more automated system for beach passes, so.
Passes. And maybe that's something at the next meeting, or we hold an early next meeting and have Kristen and stay after. We have a 4 o'clock meeting. I can make a special arrangement to get here at 4 o'clock, so they don't have to come here at night. But maybe and discuss that. Maybe I'll discuss that with them. I didn't bring the minutes tonight because we only have 2 people that were there. And I said, well, I'll wait till next meeting, I will print them out, so. Seeing that, okay, any member input? We always start with you, Paula, so I'm gonna start again.
No, just that I don't plan on renewing in June,
Right,
so
I understand.
I will not leave an empty spot. I wanna take part in that, and I'm taking part in it anyway in different,
In a different realm,
aspects.
yeah.
But, if there's anyone, if anybody knows anybody that would like to step on the beach committee, I would render my resignation then and leave.
But then they'd have to be reappointed in June.
But then
you
they
know.
have to be reappointed in June, right? So,
And I think there are a lot more people that are interested in the beach than used to be.
mhm.
Unfortunately, you read all about us. We don't do anything anyway, so it must be really easy.
I mean, it can be done. I don't want to leave. I think that there's a lot, and I do think that we have there's a lot in motion right now, and I
Yeah.
think it's all good, and we're working toward good things, but I just, I kind of play a dual role in it, and it's
I disagree.
kind of hard.
I think you should stay. We won't accept the resignation. Oh, we have a motion not to accept the resignation. No, but, no, and I understand, believe me, no one understands better than me what you're going through. Or what you go through, during the summer and everything especially, so it is a problem, Former town clerk had the same issue, for obvious reasons. It gets, gets tedious, and that's why.
Well, just this being here in this building, it
Yeah.
tends to, the calls tend to trickle in, you know what I mean? And
Because there's
it's-
nobody to call. There's no beach committee sitting in an
Right.
office somewhere to
So it's
answer a
like, oh,
phone.
you know what, I know, I can transfer you, and it's just,
Yeah,
and it's not that it's a conflict, because there's nothing that I can say that wouldn't be, it's just,
do we
when
ever,
I'm in my office, I'm the administrative assistant for the selectmen, I'm
Yeah.
not a beach committee member,
Yeah.
so.
Did we ever figure out how to access the beach committee mailbox? Email box?
Email box, we did, I emailed that to you, Keith Noble gave me the
Okay.
email.
That would be
So I'll
helpful to get
work
some
on
of that, because I don't even know how to do it, because Lucy was in charge of that previously, and I never saw anything, so, and usually when something came in mailbox, usually weeks late, or,
You need some.
Something going on.
15-year-old to do it.
yeah. So.
There
that-
is, because there's gonna be a password or something out there, and I think Keith was working on it, so.
Woody, do you have any?
No, I had no idea that
They just came.
Beach Avenue was.
Nope. Beach Avenue,
such a
I've talked
issue,
to
but
other
I
people.
know the trash, ever since the barrel disappeared, got much better.
Yeah.
And I think there were other people.
Yeah, well, because it was overflowing.
And I
And
think-
the daytime,
and
I
think there were-
totally understand what
I think
she's
there were
saying,
other
'cause-
people besides me that cleaned it up.
Yeah.
and I've been there, I took some trash with me when I went, but I spoke with her
Because it hadn't been too bad since.
a little bit ago, and I told her about this meeting, but, the daytime, I haven't really, obviously she did, so the times, I didn't make it down there all that much this summer, because it wasn't that great of a summer.
I didn't,
But
I-
the daytime wasn't, it was mostly people, would pull down there and turn around and park, I mean, because I see that, but, In the evening when we've gone down for fishing and stuff, that's been really.
Oh, no, I see it when I'm walking the beach in the evening. I can look over and see what's going on. You
Yeah.
can see all the cars parked up all along there. you
I
know.
mean, we've been fishing like on the riverside and it's just, the cars are just
Yeah.
there and the loud music is
Well,
going and.
but I haven't,
Oh, no, the landowner who owns the piece just before the Noble, I've had conversations with that family about that. Because they actually had the right to go over and park there because they own it, but they could never do it because somebody's always parked
No,
there.
Peter had to help an elderly couple with their kayak because they couldn't even get their car down there to load their kayak, so he was doing that and
How do we feel about that kayak launching thing?
how do I feel about it?
Well, we purposely, or non-purposely, on the Kitty Beach side, put those utility poles up because people were launching boats and kayaks and everything, and that wasn't the purpose. It's not a boat ramp.
Right.
It's a beach. And a lot of people still do that. And the problem is, I witnessed it, boats drop off and pick up some boats there at the beach. That was this summer's, what the heck are people thinking? And launching kayaks, but they leave the kayaks there and they're loading up and they're sitting there and they're blocking the beach and it's like, well, I don't mind if you just grab them and pull them and put them in the
Yeah,
car.
I mean, I think baby
but-
beach and that kind of stuff, I mean, if somebody brings a kayak to the Noble and they wanna traipse it down there and put it in the water, I don't see a problem with that. It's very popular, I mean, it's a popular sport.
Yeah, oh no, I have a kayak, I could go all over, there's no doubt, but I watch, it's like Boaters Beach, kind of, is what I'm saying. It's like people who are using Boater Beach, most of them are just locked in their boat, coming around, putting on the beach, which I know there were complaints on Boaters Beach this year. And Audubon has huge problems with Boaters Beach. 'Cause every time you go down there, the dogs are running loose, the kids are running through the net, the fencing, and nobody pays attention to around the corner.
Right.
And nobody wants to, everybody wants to just, it's not my problem. It's not the beach committee's problem either, because it's not really the town beach. So. But unfortunately, we're paying for the Audubon Society to go down and say, you're doing it wrong. And eventually, it's gonna turn into fines. You get the reports, I get the reports, they're not, because that's where the plovers are nesting. So at some point, and I'll bring this up to the selectmen too, I guarantee there's gonna be enough plovers down there where you're gonna say, have these signs sticking out of the sand say, no boating, no beaching of boats here. And that's gonna go over really big. And then how do you enforce that? I don't know. Anyway,
well, I mean, that's a federal waterway.
yeah, but the beach isn't.
Well, it's low
But
tide.
as the and this was
Below high tide.
a funny
Who owns-
story.
Who owns that?
My wife never comes to the beach with me. And I'm telling this story only because, so I went down there, had the dogs in the truck, she was in the truck, and there was a DEM cop sitting there, and he watched me and I started locking the gates, and then I went walking down the beach, and he followed me. And he started yelling at me, it's like, what are you doing here with your dogs? I said, I'm just locking the gates. My wife was in the car with the dogs, and I was just locking the gates, and then I explained to him what was going on and everything like that. And he said, regardless, if you've got dogs and they're in the plover area, it's a federal law, and they have jurisdiction anywhere they want to write you up on that. No matter where it is, private and or public beach. So it's something to think about, and I've warned people for years down there, and they don't listen, so. Anyhow, I don't have anything more. We'll schedule the next meeting. So the next meeting would be October 19th. I would like to be on the October 10th. I'll send you an email to that effect tomorrow, Paul.
Okay.
To bring up these issues to see if they're acceptable, because obviously they're gonna have to vote on them and get them in place by November, so we have them in place by January.
So October 19th.
Yep.
Do you want to do that one early for like 4 o'clock?
I'll ask
Wait.
Kristen and maybe we do a Thursday, maybe is there a better day for you, or Tuesdays are not good for Leon, because that's conservation nights, so I know that's not
Just
good.
Monday nights for sure.
It really doesn't matter if it's Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. You know, I'll talk to
Oh, I
Kristen.
can't do 4 on Thursdays.
That's,
Wednesday would be better.
and that would be fine too, as long as I can have enough notice to do things I have to do.
You can,
So I
you can
will,
talk to her too. She might not, I mean, she might not mind coming in the evening either, so it's up to you.
I'll leave
I
that,
can't do 4 o'clock definitely on a Tuesday or a Thursday.
okay. That's fine, and that's what I expect. I just think it would be easy for Leon, it would be easy for you, it would be easy for Kristen and Carla if she wants to be, or one or either or both. I'm usually the guy that can't make the 4 o'clock meeting, unfortunately. This work thing gets away with having all this run. So I'll talk to her tomorrow and see what, and then I'll try to get something out early. I know Perry was disappointed he missed this meeting, but, and people have lives, so.
Okay. We'll
So-
leave it at 7 for now. I'm putting it in as 7 for now, but we'll adjust that. We need to.
Okay, so that'll be a plan at this point, and I'll let you know if it changes. We'll go with Wednesday, you can do 4, right? Or if she wants to do Thursday at 7, you could do that Thursday at 7?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, 8:06.
Second.
All in favor?